mentioned, I completely lost my train of thought, but RTC said in an interview they play better versus better teams, and I think Virtus.Pro bring out the best in EG, and that is really great to see.
Fogged player perspective, is playing to the level of your opponent a real thing? Is that something that teams genuinely can they can fall into?
Absolutely. Like when you're playing versus a team that, like we said, like you don't really respect, you can kind of just, you just kind of joke around sometimes. It can be very bad for your team because you're just like, oh, we're better than these guys, and you just, it's
a bad attitude to have.
A bad attitude.
I love this start from VP, and then the answer back from EG. VP's like, okay, you know what? We're going to make space for our lifestealer. He had a real issue with overgrowth, trying to break free of that one. Or ban out the start. He's like, we're not playing this game of chicken.
Yeah.
Like instantly, you take out that lifestealer.
That's fun.
But this means now we get a lot more options in the draft because there's no Batrider in this. Like this opens up for draw Ranger strats, potentially Alchemist still in the pool as well. Like
Shadow Demon Luna,
SD Luna. If we want to play that kind of game.
Yeah, we see Virtus.Pro thinking about it. The first pick will go to Evil Geniuses, so it depends on which hero they want to give away. We still have IO in the pool as well. That was really well played, and they're gonna leave it in again, banning out the Luna, still having the Shadow Demon. The choice is Evil Geniuses. They have won all their games with Shadow Demon as well, so it's Shadow Demon or IO?
Do you want the IO or the Drow? The Drow is sitting like very far up in the list because if you want to give it like a first, because VP have to pick, so they can get their proper combination with this as well.
Drow has been unbelievably targeted in all of our drafts in these playoffs. We have rarely seen it actually slip through the net.
Just makes your game plan too easy, just makes your lanes too strong.
Right. But it's available, and that's all because of, well, Ramses and his lifestealer, and because of VP throwing that treant out early.
Yeah, Evil Geniuses, it's so important to get this first pick right. They're taking into their bonus time for it as well.
It's the Whisper Shadow Demon, right?
Or Drow, because if you're gonna now Virtus.Pro could potentially pick up IO and Drow. They're not really that much of an IO lineup or IO team rather.
Is it possible that they take it away from VP? I mean, excuse me.
Oh,
EG.
hello.
Okay.
Oh, Bass.
They came in with a different idea.
Yep, definitely.
That's funny. Just hearing you go, that's a different idea.
Why would you snipe him this early?
Who's done this before? We were talking about this earlier. We've seen a team go Ad Finum went like second or first draft sniper.
Yeah, first phase sniper, and then they won that game too.
VP have to have some kind of good concept behind this. The Ogre is not that much of a surprise. EG going in for Mirana SD also feels very standard, but the sniper kind of pick up early on. Like we've seen a pick and counter towards ODs and other stuff, but why over everything else that VP could go?
It's just a super solid mid laner, right? With Bloodlust as well. I don't think you can really lose to almost anything. You have to just get like roamed on and get caught out of position. Sniper with Bloodlust is a pretty dominant mid laner for sure, and I think that's probably what they want to showcase for no one.
I like the Leshrac ban. We've seen Evil Geniuses use it after losing to it against Complexity. A lot more teams have been starting to use the Leshrac actually.
Very, very smart for VP to ban that one out because it's one of those things you already feel pressured. First game went over very, very quickly. You lose the fight. Leshrac is really great at punishing you by taking so many objectives so quickly that VP made us feel like their entire Boston Major career ends in the space of 40 minutes worth of game time.
Just like the best dual combo too, the Shadow Demon Leshrac, and they have the Mirana on top. So the Shadow Demon obviously can disrupt. You set up your stuns very easily, and it gives you a high burst damage potential.
That is some nice artwork right there. Good colors, good message,
Save a life, place a ward.
Yeah, I like it.
Fog just sitting there like getting horrible flashbacks, like, yeah, I remember when I had to place those wards.
I remember when you could miss wards uphill. That was the worst. You're just like, I'm gonna get it. Nope, 5 misses in a row, and then I get ganked and I'm dead. But yeah, looking at
Times have changed.
Times have changed. Thankfully, you can't miss on wards anymore. Clockwork Band makes sense because they have a sniper, obviously, and just the way Universe played it before, but I think it's more so just because of the sniper. I think Lesh with Shadow Demon is just such an interesting pair because like the Soul Catcher enables him to do so much damage in these small little skirmishes.
Talk to me, Sand King removed by EG.
Well, if we're looking for a 9 Pasha hero, Sand King is really one that can stop initiation and stop people from getting to that sniper. Darkseer is obviously the other one that Virtus.Pro would look towards, but Sand King was the one that is a little bit more scary.
It's also illusion clear as well.
I'm thinking the wrong way around as well, yeah.
Like Sand King versus Shadow Demon, like Epicenter of course clears illusions really easily once you're able to get that Aghanims, as we mentioned multiple times. The Caustic Finale pops on the illusions. And it's really strong to defend your tier 1s, defend your towers in the early stages. Able to battle quite early on.
I'm interested to see how VP actually fill up their offlaner now. Like we talk about the escape being banned out, Batrider's already out of the pool as well. One big hero we've seen kind of dominate this whole tournament too is like the Timbersaw is sitting in there, but they pick the Slardar. Okay. There's still a question mark exactly who's that going to be in like the hands of, because the Darkseer is also available in the pool at the moment. And he's that dual combination hero. Yeah,
they could still definitely do it. I think them picking this up too, it kind of like they're setting up like if EG wants to go for something like an Alchemist. Obviously Alchemist sits on very low armor early on, so Slardar can benefit from putting Amplify on him, and Sniper has a great matchup in that essence versus the Alchemist in laning phase.
What do you think of a combination of having IO and Shadow Demon as supports for EG?
Not the biggest fan of those two. I mean, Shadow Demon does scale obviously from the illusions, but yeah, I mean, Wisp versus Sniper is also pretty tough matchup. I mean, with such long range and with headshot, with
they got the mystery boxes.
Ooh.
Maybe they got a strat.
Did you get anything good? Did you get anything good in the box?
Not listening to
me.
Wow,
ignored.
I see. Ignored.
I just got straight wrecked.
Your cyberbullying has been ignored.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Got the hats and pins. Looks
there we
good.
Go. Good stuff.
Thank you, Box.
Cheers, dudes.
That's actually Gabe's private message to everybody. Thank you for your res and your money.
He wrote it in the boxes personally.
Obviously.
Every single box.
Every single one.
Yeah, spend a week at the office signing boxes. Timbersaw, there you go.
So he does come in for EG.
Now that is a Sumail Timbersaw, I want to say.
Sumail?
Still open-ended.
Could be.
Still open-ended?
They put Arteezy on it in the past too, and they can still set up for some type of like aggro if they want to, like aggro dual lanes, and put the Timbersaw in a 1v1 matchup if they expect this Slardar to be the off-lane hero.
There's still lots of question marks surrounding whether VP are putting these.
Yeah, same. I mean, we know where the Sniper's going. We know where the Ogre's going. The Slardar can be changed. We'll probably see like where it's gonna go just off this next pick if they do pick up like the Darkseer, which they do love to run with the support Slardar. And EG's is still kind of open-ended as well. The Shadow Demon, we know where it is, but the Mirana Timbersaw can be moved around. Mirana obviously as support or mid lane, Timbersaw as either mid, off, or even in the safe lane.
Still waiting for that.
Yeah, I mean, the Timbersaw is open until, well, where he's going. Sniper also a little bit, right? Is it going to be Ramses or no one?
I think it'll be no one, more than likely, yeah.
Still waiting to see where Ramses is taking this one. He's had his lifestealer taken away from him.
Yeah. I mean, so far he's played Luna, Lifestealer, a lot of Lifestealer actually, and Drow, so all three are already out, so he's going to play a new hero for this major, and he did play Bloodseeker before.
This is a cool pick.
The time that they played Bloodseeker, it was at the summit, they won in 20 minutes.
Ooh, okay.
So that was a very fast game.
Fog, you're a fan?
It's cool with the Sniper too, because you have your Sniper in the back line, so if you do able to Blood Rage him in the back, you know, he's always able to just like peep away and do that extra bonus damage. But specifically Bloodseeker versus Timbersaw, you know, the matchup just kind of like sounds cool, because, you know, if you rupture him, he can't really Timber Chain away.
Yep.
He has Blood Right as well, which is a built-in silence into a hero, is incredibly good versus Timbersaw, and versus Mirana, versus the Moonlight Shadow. If people are low, which usually they tend to be when they're running away with Moonlight Shadow, he obviously reveals them with that Thirst.
This works perfectly, and EG still picked the Alchemist into it after you talked about like the counters which VP have against him. This could be a really rough laning phase for EG. Also depending on the last hero that still comes up from VP, because we still don't know, like going to the last pick, exactly what VP's lanes are going to be.
Now we know kind of how EG's going to do it. It's just, is this Timbersaw off lane, which is, I don't think it will be, especially paired up against the Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker just decimates that hero in the laning phase. So it's more than likely Arteezy, Timbersaw, Sumail, Alchemist, and then we'll see these two, the Shadow Demon Mirana as our supports, and probably looking at the Universe hero as the last pick for Evil Geniuses.
I wonder if this is really the position 2 EG thought they were going to be in. Like, you pick up Mirana in the early phase, it's that thing which allows you to say, oh, it could be support,
where's it going?
It could be mid, they get Timber, another one of those multi-lane kind of roles, pick up an Alchemist, lock yourself into it against the Bloodseeker. They didn't really delay with the pick, so I'm going to say for now, EG are okay with what's happened here.
I think it's not that bad for them, obviously, because like the Shadow Demon illusions with Alchemist, VP's lineup, they don't really have the best way to clear illusions still. Sniper can do decent, but he's not like this burst potential hero, definitely not. He always takes like a little bit of time to hit stuff down. And okay, so they changed it up, so it could now this is where it completely changes everything. It could be an offlane Mirana or something like that with the Chen just like kind of assisting the lanes as much as possible. That's
either that or they just
really
back to say like we just leave the Timber on the top lane.
Wow, I mean, we have seen some incredibly good and incredibly bad Chens already through our groups and playoffs.
I'm more curious if that would change also Virtus.Pro's opinion on where to put that Slardar. Because
time is slim.
Does the Chen pick allow Virtus.Pro to be a little bit more greedy for themselves?
They've got 9 seconds to make
I
a
don't
decision.
think so, actually, because I think then EG can ball up as a unit. If Bloodseeker suffers
hey.
with then, oh, we have a new hero!
He was in my brain. The Doombringer comes out, fantastic against the Chen, and it is the greed that you were talking about, Shiva.
Yep.
The greed is
very
there.
good versus Chen, incredibly good versus Timbersaw, and even Alchemist. If you get the Doom on him before he gets Chemical Rage, he's just screwed. So that's a really cool pickup, and it's something we haven't seen VP do. And again, since the beginning they formed, they used to run a bit on solo.
It used to be real big around the Shanghai Major time, so that was the era where it was big. It still has been picked up a few times. It can still be very active early on in the game as well, depending on what creep you eat.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh man. Well, I mean, it is time. It's VP on the ropes. They've looked so good. They have been a lot of our casters and analysts one to watch, and now EG can throw the knockout blow. Sink or swim, run or flop here in the theater of, well, dreams or nightmares. We'll find out with your casters. Who will it be? We will see. It's Gods and OD.
Thank you very much, Alex. Indeed, we're ready to get stuck into Game 2, Evil Geniuses versus VP. During the break, we were talking to Light of Heaven behind the scenes. He mentioned one of the reasons why VP struggled in Game 1 was because they weren't prepared to play against the Treant. And a bit of turn of events. The question is, Gods, are EG prepared to play against a Bloodseeker and a Doom?
They've maybe seen the, I mean, they would have seen the one game they ran. Shadow Demon caught one hero here. This is actually going to be first.
I mean, with the arrow timing as well, as soon as Doom enters the game, he's straight out. Oh, and it goes to Samael. He even had that Grievel's Greed specced up and ready to go. So a nice bit of, just a tiny bit of bonus goal for Samael. Oh, man. That's a real nice kick up in the mid lane to begin.
Yeah. Likely, I mean, as I said, VP would have run the Bloodseeker once before, but EG have a different draft of their own. Banking on the farm of the Alchemist, they're hoping that he can't really be contested too much, farming his stacks, farming his jungle, and VP kind of limited in how aggressive they can be in the enemy jungle.
I mean, Crit, he's seen if he can get another disruption. Kind of toying around with this one.
Alk's already, oh no, it's Timbersaw at the bot lane. Uni is going to get there, and Alk is going to try and protect it for the Alchemist, but I think he realizes VP already headed that way, so he'll take it himself. He got a first blood. That's even better than getting the bounty rune.
Yeah, understandable why they didn't want to contest VP's level 1 team fight. VP with a lot of very, very strong heroes to throw into the fray. So the matchup this time around in the mid lane, obviously game 1 we saw Samael absolutely dominate no one. I imagine this time around it's going to be a little bit harder for Samael to have that sort of a lead in the laning stage.
Yeah, he's currently not getting all too much help until perhaps Chen comes in, and Doom is going to be looking to kind of keep tabs of this Chen. We've got Doom already finding Zai here in the jungle. He's going to keep that Satyr away from Lil. Lil does have a win, so and he will be able to catch up to it.
Come here. Daddy's hungry. Where's your creep now, mate?
He wishes he had that wind lace when he planted the ward. He TP'd with just the observer ward, so he didn't have the wind lace movement speed, but now he buys some items, he gets the wind lace, and he's got that extra bit of movement speed.
I mean, is that pretty much the job here for the Doom? Does he just focus on following down Zai, making sure that none of Zai's movements are successful with the early ganks?
Yeah, being very annoying and pesky on the map, kind of similar to what we see him do on Weaver. The Chen as well as the Alchemist are two heroes that he can really look to put pressure on. With the Ogre's presence in the mid lane, it's very easy to have him kind of swoop on him and have like a 3-man collapse onto Samael's Alk if Alk is ever pushed up too far. So that's something that he's got to kind of be wary of on the EG side. As for Chen, we'll have to see whether or not he's going to look to kind of apply pressure, get kind of ganking, or if he tries to play more of the defensive, sit behind your cores style Chen, which is so far what he's doing. He's throwing the Wild Wing mid, doing a lot of damage to no one's sniper here, but you can salve through the tornado.
Absolutely. Talk to me a little bit about these side lane decisions from both sides. So obviously Ramses with the Bloodseeker is head down towards the bottom lane, but also EG, they've moved Universe down here, and they're playing this Murano lane at the top aggressively. Who's getting the lanes that they wanted really out of this pairing, do you feel?
More so EG. VP wanted to have they want the Bloodseeker versus Timbersaw, but they would have preferred it in the safe lane with VP having a 2v1 kind of lane where Ramses can get help from the Doom. The Doom set up in his own jungle, which means if Ramses is against the Timbersaw up top, the Doom can swoop in and offer a gank threat. But down bottom, there's no real rotations that are that easy, and Lil opts to like make a move all the way from his jungle, which you may have to pick up like a Boots, a Smoke, roam down bottom. It's an okay matchup for Bloodseeker because Uni's often going to be low HP, tanking the creeps and getting down to like half HP, which gives Bloodseeker damage, but it's also a bad matchup because Uni's always going to have the HP regen with the reactive armor.
It's going to be very hard for Ramses to do anything aggressive until he hits that level 6, and Universe will have to be just that little bit careful. We're seeing in this mid lane as well, Zai continue to farm up the jungle, get a few levels before he starts to make those movements, but the majority of pressure from VP putting on this mid lane as they have 3 heroes kind of circling around both Zai and Sumail.
See what Lil's move is going to be. Zai is playing, very defensive behind his core, still just level 1, had the illusions as well to scout out the Doom.
Solo, you're just moving in continuously with the ignite, but he could pay off his life here. Crit coming in with the disruption, setting up the stomp from Zai. Sentinel Solo falling low and falling down. EG punishing this aggressive setup from VP in the mid lane.
That is a fantastic low rotation.
Lil might come in and see if he can get something done about this. He does have the blast, and with the in fact, with that, it's incredibly close, not close enough. He will cancel the salve. Sumail will survive.
Just got another salve. Salve in a bottle, alright, there's the second one, and they'll look to not leave this lane. Bottom lane Solo's showing up, but don't really see a... Oh, is there a kill here? With the Orb of Venom, it's close. Universe, only the 2 points in the reactive armor. Not quite level 5 just yet, but he's going to be more than okay.
And CSY 17 for 1 on Uni against Ramses 20 for 4, so fairly close down on that bottom lane.
Arteezy, the big breadwinner as far as the CS goes, seeing up there at 29 CS, has the early phase boots. Mirana not normally like the best in these kind of 1v1 CSing battles, but phase boots more than makes up for her lack of damage.
And look how much he's been able to zone Pasha out the lane. Pasha's been sat up here since the start, but only 5 CS he's been able to find on that Slardar. So
move down bottom.
Ramses could be in trouble. Crit with the setup. Zai's going to be coming in with a Hellbear Clapper with the Soul Catch on. Ramses is going to take huge amounts of damage. He's got a point in the passive, it's 3 points in fact, so he's trying to speed his way out of here. Can he actually escape though, Zai? Universe continues to chase. Universe a little low on the mana front. And looks like Ramses with that speed, he's going to be able to blood seek his way out of there.
The thunderclap from the Hellbear didn't land. The creep wave kind of blocked the Hellbear moving in, so he didn't get the clap to follow up the disruption, which cost them the kill. Bit unfortunate, but slightly off there with the execution. Even so, it's still a Bloodseeker who's having a rough time and is getting bullied a bit by the Timbersaw.
Should be able to regen back up with his creep wave coming in. Solo's peeping across as well.
And making sure they can get that wave XP, but EG's already making the next move. They smoked up with the Chen Shatter Demon. They want to catch no one here. But Solo could be making the right move to scout this one out. They don't want to run into this Ogre. They see the Ogre with the ward, but that is not the kill they want to go for. It's also perhaps a difficult kill because of the 8 base armor. They'd either like to get the flank onto the Bloodseeker at bottom or the Sniper at mid.
And they want to try and find Ramses here. Ramses.
Bit of indecision.
Yeah, Crit and Zai kind of go back and forth. They're now going to make the line to go round back because they obviously saw Ogre moving across. Maybe they'll wrap around on the gank for the counter gank.
Yeah. TP'd in Mirana, so they're really investing a lot down bottom. They know Bloodseeker's 6. They're basically baiting out Ramses, hoping that he goes for some rupture aggression, and then they'll turn it around with the arrow.
They could get 2 kills out of this one if they play right, EG.
Yeah.
Already the smoke's one out. There is this ward here from VP. So VP, well aware of what's going on, but maybe not well aware enough. The arrow flying through will connect onto Solo. So it looks like Ramses will escape, but Solo does pay the price with his life.
Yeah, that's good play from Solo. If that gank gets the Bloodseeker, it's definitely what EG's time. Catching just the Ogre with the 4-man rotation, not totally worth it in the end, because Slardar suddenly has a free lane up top, which was previously getting contested a lot by the Mirana. So if anything, that kill there, not worth it for EG because of how much they had to bring in. So VP kind of salvaged that situation. They've got no one farming well the mid lane now. He's been left, I mean, he's had a pretty
This could catch him off guard though. With this Moonlight, no one does not expect this at all. Crit's just got to get disruption. No one poised very aggressively here. Arteezy jumping into position, making sure he gets the angle, but he's going to miss the arrow. And no one, can he actually get himself away with that cell?
Oh!
He's going to survive.
HP.
They'll turn towards Solo, see if they can get at least something out of this play, but Solo and will go down. So they do at least get the Ogre. But that little unfortunate arrow mistiming there from Artur means that no one's able to walk back to safety.
He had literally 1 HP, Owen. And that was after like getting 40 HP back from a healing salve. Oh my, it doesn't get any closer than that. No one's somehow getting away from a gank that he had no right to survive. But a missed arrow and a nicely timed healing salve. somehow salvage the situation. But again, it's EG kind of getting the better of the laning stage. Alchemist hasn't free farm mid by any means, but he is still top of the net worth. He can fall back, farm his stacks, farm his jungle, and we'll have to see what VP can do as far as...
They want to go for a bit of play here with this rupture. We saw them maybe thinking about it earlier. They didn't go for it because EG was there with backup. Now this time, putting the pressure on him. Looks like Universe. Yeah, he's aware. Again, the warding from EG. They have these 3 wards all around this bottom lane. Roshan, secret shop of VP, meaning they scout out any sort of TPs like that. And of course, Universe just straight out of the lane. Pressure's being put on top by EG. And they're avoiding all sorts of movements from VP. VP now with a smoke. Smoking up from EG's jungle as well, so they will know that this is a good potential move from them, as it's very unlikely that EG knows that this is happening. But the thing is, EG they're on the entirely opposite side of the map. It's a very, very long movement for VP to go for. And if they don't find a kill, it's potentially a lot of time wasted. And Pasha already revealing himself as well as no one back in the mid lane. They just know that they're not going to find anything for that.
If they can get this mid tier 1 tower, it's going to be an acceptable alternative option for them. Whether or not EG can really defend this one, it doesn't look like it. The acid spray already has been used near the Ancient. Sumail's just trying to farm, so it looks like EG going to give this one up. The Bloodlust Sniper, as well as Bloodseeker, are just a bit too difficult to deal with.
I mean, of course, as this goes on at the same time, Arteezy was tickling away at the tier 2 up top, so putting a bit of pressure on there. And now we'll TP back towards the mid. Crit is coming across from the sideline under cover of Moonlight Shadow. They could try for something. They do lose the tower, but Crit is going to see if they can find something on the back of it. The Darrow timing is going to be there this time. Connects onto Lil. Doom will be taken out of the fight. So VP find a tower. They are trying to chase down for kills with the shrapnel. Again, just not the follow-up damage, not enough catch. Ramses couldn't quite get in range for a rupture of sorts. Yep. So again, it's EG getting a kill, but at the least, VP did manage to find an objective.
Yeah, VP finding the towers. The 5-0 kill score doesn't really tell the whole story. EG not getting the key target so much. Both Ramses on the Bloodseeker and no one on the Sniper. Neither of those 2 cores have died yet this game. Perhaps EG could have found that 1 kill, but as it stands, they're still in a good position as far as their itemization. EG only a little bit ahead on overall on the gold. And if VP can hit some of their timings and find that good first team fight, things will quickly swing to their way. Alchemist will not be ready to fight for some time. He's going to be playing the farming game, sitting in his jungle, looking to take what he can towards that Radiance.
Top lane Pasha, he's trying to farm towards his blink, but Crit and Artur are on the hunt. They'll look for the connection. Soul Catcher won't latch onto Pasha though, but with the Starstorm, do they have enough damage? It's going to be close. Pasha popping the 1 charge, and it looks like he'll be able to get away there. So just slightly unfortunate that they couldn't get the Soul Catcher to proc on the Slardar.
Didn't get the double Starstorm as well. I mean, this is, considering how well EG's done, they've missed a couple kills.
Let's see if they miss this one. I mean, Universe and Zai with this movement, they'll catch Ramses out. Very nicely done there from Zai. Kind of blocking Ramses against the tree line with his creep army.
That was really nicely played. Not an easy gank by any means to gank a Bloodseeker Chen, and Zai needed that because he was actually really behind on levels. He was like kind of high level 3, just about to hit just hitting level 4 at 11 minutes in the game. So he was starved for experience, but finding a kill like that does help him a lot, considering that was a level 9 Bloodseeker that he gets a kill, and he got a full level of experience out of that kill. So very important for EG to get Chen level 6, level 7 as early as possible this game. And this smoke move into the Radiant jungle from Solo and Pasha, not really sure it can do all too much. They don't have best kill potential between these heroes, more like a warding expedition it feels like, but...
They do have this, they know that the Zai is down there on that bottom camp, and Pasha will be quick to head over, but immediately with the Moonlight Shadow, you know that VP are hunting for them. Just making sure that still, just coming up to 12 minutes in, it's proving very hard for VP to get a kill on the board, but as you get the farm, looking good for their 2 big old cores. Pasha starting to catch up well.
They saw Crit.
And this should be the chance for VP to get a kill online as Crit and D caught out in their jungle. So they'll be able to bring themselves on into the game. 6-4-1 now.
He was just going a bit of a warding expedition himself. Had one more ward he wanted to plant near that middle lane, and he realizes he was spotted by a ward. He may not know exactly where. He was kind of pinging around that cliff.
So they're coming hunting for Arteezy, but with this ward, Artur will know what's going on.
He's low on mana. He can't TP out right now. He can TP soon, but he leaps now. He definitely doesn't have a TP. Arteezy's just going to have to sit in here and wait for the long haul. The Iron Talon could be used by Lil. He's going to chop his way through.
Yeah, he's hunting. Arteezy better hold his breath.
I mean, he's used to being trapped by trees.
He is. This time it works in his favor. He'll get out and Lil literally stomped.
I mean, Lil knew he had very little mana, but having enough regen between the Aquila as well as the infused raindrops.
Smoke time from EG. I think done a few sentries as well beforehand to make sure that VP didn't have the vision around that area. So EG could have the potential for a jump if Crit can find the lead in, but at the same time, it's actually going to be Virtus.Pro themselves that are moving across aggressively into EG's jungle, and they've got eyes onto Sumail, and Sumail is a little bit on his own. He does have Arteezy relatively close, but Pasha leading him with the crush. Do they actually have the damage to bring him down? Well, with the help of no one, it looks like they should. Straight up bringing him low, and Ramsey's there involved as well. Yes, a big pick off for VP. So at the end of the day, that smoke from EG ends up kind of working against them, as all it did was bring the team away from Sumail.
Yeah, and once Sumail's caught there, they can't even go for like a TP to save him. He's too far away from a tower. Shadow Demon could TP in and get a disruption off, but it's just gonna like by some time he's still gonna die there, and possibly Shadow Demon dies as well. So right call from EG just to let him go down, but losing his life at a key time where he's very close to a relic. Definitely what VP were after. They've gone back for a Midas on the Bloodseeker. That'll get him up to that level 2 Rupture now, giving a nice boost in the damage output of that spell, but as it stands, they've still got issues as far as dealing with both the Farm, Mirana, and Alchemist.
EG, though, not to be slowed down, continues to try and go for the same sort of tempo that they were able to achieve in Game 1. Crit with the setup onto Lil. The arrow timing is perfect. They have the damage to bring down this Brood. He's appeared to go one Lil falling low, and he should pop, and he will. They'll get the kill. Crit duking out the crush here from Pasha, with no one coming across with the ultimate. He's not going to find it because Universe is there with the backup. And again, I mean, 14 minutes in may not look to be as brutal as Game 1, but already the signs are starting to show where EG are just pulling off the better plays, making the better shot calls.
Yeah, they just seem to always be there more in numbers. Outside of the one kind of big smoke rotation to catch an Alchemist, anytime VP's made these smaller kind of skirmish plays where they go for like a 2-3 man like gank, it's never worked. EG's always turned it around. The Shadow Demon Universe on the Timbersaw has even turned things around. Not like a hero you'd normally expect to see him on, but he's playing a much more kind of team-oriented Timbersaw. This is hero you normally expect to see as one of the most farmed or second most farmed cores on your team, but he's playing in a very different way, going for what looks to be a Lotus Orb Rush as well. He wants to just help out his team and back up his cause as much as possible.
VP 5. Moving towards the mid lane. Ramsey's leading the way. They have that Observer Ward up on the high ground. EG's starting to back off, and they're looking to try and focus Sumail first. Disruption will be there.
He's sent home.
And he's back out. Crit will be less lucky though, but a nice bit of support play there from EG, making sure that Sumail gets back to safety.
It's actually a big talking point that we haven't really hit on about the 5th pick Chen. One of the big things it can do is save that ruptured target. The send back with a Shadow Demon disruption, it's a guaranteed send back. There's nothing really VP can do. Typically you talk about maybe purging it off, but if you go in with like a, let's say Doom has a purge grip or something, that's where the disruption can guarantee that sent home.
No one has found Arteezy. Again, immediately with the leap and TP out. Arteezy can continue to do this and already bringing the tier 2 very close to the end of his life there on that top lane. So one more push like that and a bit more money into the bank of EG. As we've seen, Sumail incredibly close to having that Radiance done, and then the job for VP is only going to get harder and harder in terms of trying to shut down the Sumail Alchemist.
And EG are just getting way more out of the map. You see when they make their moves, they've got Arteezy who's like split pushing the top tier 2, they're farming their own jungle with Universe, they're farming the lane, their Ancients with the Alchemist. It just feels like EG are overall being a lot more efficient, taking more farm on the map, whereas VP are forced to make these movements with more heroes and spend less time getting farm on their core heroes. Sniper hasn't been hurt too much. He's still sitting up there at 7k net worth, working on the Maelstrom, but never a hero that's going to be able to keep up with an Alchemist's farm rate.
Oh, well, they dropped the combo there on the Illusion. That's not the biggest of expenses anyway, so not a huge amount of a bummer for EG.
They may get this top tier 2 tower looks like it may just be undefended. VP going for Roche in exchange for it. Not a bad option, but they're still going to have the same issues we've been seeing them have, where they just can't find these great pickoffs, and EG are just going to play keep away if VP have an Aegis. So it's a useful pickup, but it's not a pickup that's going to change the state of this game too much. EG do not need to change their playstyle based on VP having this Aegis.
No one grabs the Aegis. Same time, RT's able to take a tower, and that tower gold is going to mean that the Aghanim Scepter is now complete for Mirana. Further fights. I'm going to look at a little bit rockier for VP, especially as we're seeing the pick-up potential between Crit and Arteezy. This time not necessarily relying on the RNG to get that second Starstorm. It's going to be there anyway. The VP's heroes will have to be very, very aware of this. Pasha, 100 gold away from Blink. So they are going to have that timing as well. With the Blink Dagger on the Slardar, Aegis on the Sniper, it could be VP's turn to again look to try and get the jump on EG.
Yeah, they really want to. It's more a matter of how they find it, how they can use their smokes. They need to be able to push out their lanes as well. Anytime there's lanes pushing deep close to the tier 3 tower up top, someone has to go back and defend it. And that's not really what VP want to be doing. They want to be playing on EG's side of the map. It's just EG have done a good job of not allowing that to happen. And yeah, and the EG, they've got three heroes, 3 cores that all push lanes very well. The Timbersaw can instantly burst down away. Same thing for the Mirana now with an Ags. The Alk with his Radiance plus Acid Spray, very good at clearing waves. And VP themselves, they don't push waves fast. None of the heroes really can push a creep wave particularly quickly. That's where Sniper has to go for this Maelstrom build. Bloodseeker can do it a little better because of the Blood Right, but even that is not that like instant wave clear that EG have with like the Mirana per se.
And they will get the D-Ward there, though, coming to the high ground VP. Trying to reclaim a bit of control of EG's jungle that they were able to maintain earlier. Overall net worth, as we can see, is in EG's favor. That's kind of expected with this Alchemist pick. So considering that they do have an Alch, the fact on the other side that VP are only 4k behind, it's not the worst of news for VP. There certainly is a chance if they're able to find the initiations in these fights. They've got the tools to do so. Norn and Ramsey still in very, very good positions. Ramsey's, on top of the Midas, picking up the Yasha. I mean, is it going to be the SOI build? Is that what you still go for here on this Midas Bloodseeker nowadays?
Yeah, it looks to be. I honestly can't really say. It's not a hero you see all too often. Outside of the one game he played at the Summit, so we will see him pick up the pieces for the Sand. So we'll be seeing the SMY coming out. But I think the big thing for VP is they probably look at the Alk like, okay, we haven't shut him down, but something the panel touched on is they have good heroes to kill and burst down the Alk. You doom him before he gets off the Chemical Rage. You've got the amp damage with the Sniper physical damage, as well as the Bloodseeker Rupture. They've got very good heroes, no matter how farmed Alk gets, actually onto him. So they can't be too let down by this. Even though they know that this Aegis is unlikely to lead to a good team fight or a high ground push or anything like that, they just have to play for the late game where they're going to have a decently farmed Sniper as well as Seeker, and they can just try use their spells to deal with Alk.
He's going to get tempted to go for a bit of a go here, immediately TPing out as he realizes there is backup from VP, and he's going to be able to get out as well. Solo can't quite get in range for the Fire Blast. Both teams.
I mean, EG just make these super aggressive plays, which are very low risk. Even if that doesn't work, it's worst case scenario, you lose a Shadow Demon, and you're finding that you're going for that kill deep on the enemy side of the map. So it's not like you lose a Shadow Demon and then it's like, well, we got to give up the tower now because we've lost a hero. No, there's no risk of losing any kind of objective in that situation, and if you get the kill, it's a big reward. So very smart play from EG, playing where they are in the enemy jungle, not presenting any opportunities to VP in their own jungle or on their side of the map. Perhaps VP will look to find this Ancient stack and take it for themselves, but that's not really at that stage where it's too big of a deal if Alchemist doesn't get that farm for himself.
Absolutely. Sumail already in a fantastic place. 14,000 net worth, but no one's still 10k. Considering the heroes, it's not a bad life still for this Sniper. It's still all dandy. 21 minutes in. Hurricane Pike complete as well. And with the wraparound from VP, they'll just look to turn it into a push onto this top lane. Take a tier 1. Meanwhile, though, EG looking for the trade. Down bottom, Zai and his army. I'll find a tier 1 in return.
It's kind of crazy how similar this draft is turning into as far as the general style for EG, where it's protect Sumail and Arteezy with your supports, as well as with Universe. You think Timbersaw, you don't think he's a offensive utility off lane. You think he's a bit more explosive or damage output, but he's gone straight into the Lotus Orb. He can purge off that amp damage on the Alchemist, he can purge off the Silence, and then the Chen Shadow Demon, the save potential of these two heroes. They're all about enabling Sumail as well as Arteezy in these fights.
Asher actually getting a good jump in onto Arteezy. Arteezy in trouble, pops the stars off. Quick buy time, is he actually... Oh my goodness, he got out! He got out! Crit may have lost his life, but Crit and Zai saving Artor!
That.
I mean, this combo is absolutely beautiful to observe. And, oh man. Disruption and the send back. It works every time here for EG.
That's the kind of support plays that get me excited when you see that, like, different combos that you don't normally see. Normally you think the Chen, it's like, okay, you're going to 5-man push, but they're using the Chen in a very different way. And that Shadow Demon Disruption as well to set him up. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Problem is now, though, all the lanes are pushed out. VP actually find themselves taking a tower without a trade, and EG are going to either have to fight this one or give it up and defend their high ground. It looks like with the invis, they are thinking about a way to initiate in.
And not only did they get that tier 2 on the top, they also managed to deny the bottom one. So, tower gold is going to be a bit tasty at the moment for VP. I'll see what sort of play they're able to achieve here on the mid lane. Pasha, smoked up. Looking for some sort of wraparound. I can have the vision onto Zara. Zara's playing incredibly low here. Jump in from Pasha. He's caught out too. But there's Crit with a defensive disruption. Keeping him alive. The Doom did drop the Doom, but it's not too late to be Dooms himself. Lil in trouble as well. He has got the score step out, but it's not going to be enough regen to keep him alive. There'll be a buyback from Sumail. He looks towards Ramses. Throws him right over Pasha. Comes back in with the Doom macros. Getting RTZ Crit, but Pasha has to get himself out of there. The Stealth Freedom is low. Ramses still alive though with Solo and Pasha. Looking towards RTZ. RTZ finally falls, but Solo's going to tick down to the Radiance. Ramses trying to get himself away to the high ground, but Sumail, he's chasing. Can he find this final kill? The concoction's starting to build up. The acid spray is coming through as well, but Ramses, he's a little too speedy. Crit. He needs one poison. He's not going to find it. Ramsey's still holding his breath here in the tree line. It doesn't look like Crit's going to come looking for him. But overall, Sumail did have to buy back for that engagement. But huge casualties there from VP. But Ramses remains alive, and with a lot of money on him, he does not have a TP.
Yeah, I think VP will be just satisfied with that. The sniper got completely destroyed by Arteezy. Just jumped in directly on the sniper with the double star, so got him down to about 300 HP at the very start of the fight.
Poor old Ramses.
He's still trapped.
What's he going to do? I mean,
he's probably asking for his team to push out this bottom lane so he feels safe again.
I mean, at this point, Sumail might passively kill him with a warp by on the Radiance, but yeah.
Look at that.
He's fine.
Buys a couple BKB pieces, so we'll see next big item coming. He wants to be able to deal with the AoE damage of the Mirana, not have to worry about the Radiance mischance as well as the Timbersaw. That was immediately when the jump happens, there's the Lotus Orb on Alchemist. Universe was ready to protect Sumail at all costs.
I mean, yeah, as you said, this reaction time, there's the Lotus straight before the Doom. Beautifully done there. And allows them to get Lil. Sumail as well with the kind of piece to buy back immediately, and it does enable them to get a couple of these kills at least. They don't get Ramses, but with Pasha jumping back in, he's already playing the risk of RTZ hitting him hard with that Ag Starstorm. No one being focused by Sumail's illusions.
Yeah, that was great illusion, Mike. His hero was being locked down and controlled, but he sent the illusions directly at... they were the Alchemist, yeah. I think the two there were the man illusions. That was Sumail just sending him, knowing that the sniper was low enough. And the reason the sniper was so low is, as mentioned, Arteezy just jumped him and started the fight. Didn't actually manage to kill him on his own, but got him low enough that it put him in this position where he just couldn't really continue to fight. We'll see if Sniper considers something like a BKB of his own. He perhaps does need to at least tank up a little bit more. Still an alright fight for VP considering the Alchemist buyback and the fact that Bloodseeker survives at the end. Sniper getting very farmed at this stage. 6k net worth behind an Alchemist is not a big difference. It's an Alchemist you're talking about. VP are in a position that this game is still within their grasp, even if EG have the slightest of edges.
I mean, what's the next play for EG? I mean, do EG themselves need to play aggressive, or can they kind of sit back and just continue to play this style where Sumail sits at the top of the net worth, continues to farm on and take this game potentially late against VP, rather than risking these kind of engagements where VP can outfight them?
They want to, I mean, keep doing the classic EG, which is kind of the reactionary team, be the team looking to play the farming game, being the more efficient team. They've got 3 heroes, as mentioned, that can push out and farm lanes very quickly. They want to utilize that. For VP, you are the ones who are kind of under more pressure to make the plays, make the ganks happen when you've got this Slaughter initiation, the Bloodseeker. Heroes that aren't going to naturally scale as well. And EG can just pressure the lane so much better because Out can send illusions, Mirana can just go spam a lane down with the Ag Scepter and then blink out, leap out to safety. VP have to keep the pressure up onto EG.
They're doing exactly that here with this 5-man straight down the middle for the time being. It was all spotted out from this warning from EG. They have that ward on the high ground of VP's entrance to the jungle. They have the ward down in the mid lane.
And as soon as VP 5-man, you'll see Arteezy in one of the side lanes. Like if there's a 5-man mate, he's either top or bottom pushing it out. but Roche is respawned, and that's something very difficult for EG to contest given position on the map. They do have good vision around the pit, but doesn't look like they can get there all too fast. Arteezy in the neighborhood, but doesn't look like he wants to go for a play. Sumail's going up top. They're kind of
it looks like they realized that.
Sumail's just like an item or two short. He needs that R item, be it the Shivers or the AC. Normally you'll see the Shivers guard, and until that point, they probably just don't feel like they can fight into VP on their side of the map. They'll fight VP if VP come to them under their towers, but they do not want to be taking 5v5 engagements that far out.
Now we see now Lil has got the Blink Dagger on the Doom. I mean, who do you feel it's crucial that he catches out in these fights? Who's he looking to mainly jump in and catch that ultimate?
Tough to say. The Alchemist, of course, is the ideal target if you can guarantee the kill. Does it make okay, too much? The Alchemist, of course, killing him, he's the big top net worth hero. But there is definitely legitimate reason to go on the supporting cast, because if your team can go on the Alchemist and kill him with the physical damage, like the Slider goes, you want to be then dooming the Chen or the Shadow Demon, the heroes that can save his life. But ideally, I mean, the Shadow Demon, as squishy as he is, you'd rather not doom him and have like the Sniper try and take him out in the back, or the Bloodseeker find him. If Ramses gets a lot of movement speed and damage from his passive, he can then go and hunt down the Shadow Demon.
See if you can get a catch there, Lil.
Very hard to play this Doom. The hero used to have such a low cast time on the Doom, but now it takes forever with the wind up, and where you often see items like Shadow Blade come out, maybe something that Lil considers as his next item, just so he can try and catch and hunt Arteezy. But then there's an easy response for Arteezy. You go Linken's. He's currently building towards the Ethereal Blade, but a Linken Sphere later on in this game, definitely an item I imagine he'll want to pick up.
VP just trying to get these lanes pushed back out, as you said, something that's a lot harder for them in comparison to the powers that EG and at the moment.
They've got BKB on no one now, so they're kind of at that point where team fights heavily favor them. They've got two 10-second BKBs, and that's where EG, if they see these items, they're thinking, we don't want a 5v5. We can find pickups with Moonlight Shadow if we think VP is split up. They need to be playing the farm game. This game is kind of going to enter this maybe more kind of passive stage, even though VP have an Aegis. EG do not want to fight at any cost, unless VP really force the issue high ground. Find like a nice pick, which they are continuing to look to do using the Moonlight Shadow. He will have to avoid VP here because of the BKBs and the Aegis.
Yeah, no one's got a double damage ready as well.
That's an easy tier 2 mid tower. Whether or not they go for more is perhaps the bigger question.
EG at the moment, as you mentioned, as soon as they see something going on as a group, RTT just splitting up the lane down bottom, keeping the pressure on. So now trying to slow down the push with the illusions. It's not going to happen though. Tier 2's down, and VP, we'll see how much they want to move in for more. They're already going to start to chip away. I mean, we can see just with the vision and the damage that no one does, forcing out the fortification already from EG. RTC's going to head back to base, and they will look to hold some sort of a defense. And so VP realized that they're happy with the damage that they did there with the DD, and they look to just hold back themselves and obviously clear out that bottom lane.
Chen has two, I don't even know if you can call these creeps. One is a creep. It's a range creep, and the Harpy Stormcraft is just like split pushing the side lanes. This is not your everyday Chen and what you expect to see coming out. Zai will now find a Centaur at least, but he's very much being used for his other tools, the heals as well as the send back with the save. Would like to perhaps see him, I mean, he is using the creeps to split push, but ideally going to find some other stronger creeps to do that with. The Harpy not bad because you can spot the lane, but his creeps in a team fight not going to offer too much. That's where he's just got them in these side lanes and he's playing that annoying split push game.
I'm looking a little, I mean, it's pretty much the way you need to just be playing the Doom now. Just sit in the trees and look to hunt down Mirana.
Yep, and has the Purge now, so he's going to be eyeing off that send back, trying to get rid of it when it's applied to a hero. And often, I mean, we've seen the Disruption kind of being used with the send back to guarantee it, but sometimes you'll see Disruption used earlier in the fight to make Alchemist illusions or to save a teammate, so it may not always be available with the send back. So having this Purge creep is going to be very, very key for Lil in these upcoming fights.
They're pushing him mid-jet again. At the same time, Sumail has got his army pushing down onto the tier 3 on the bottom lane, so pressure is being put on with the split.
Yeah, and that's where the creeps are going to keep on going. It's too dangerous for heroes to split push with a Doom in the game. Well, creeps, they can sure as hell do it. And this Aegis is still got a 30-second duration left on VP.
This siege as well. They get the tier 3. They are potentially going to lose the tier 3 in return on that bottom lane. Jump in with nuke damage, forcing out BKB from no one immediately pops it, clears out the illusions, turning back towards the racks. Moonlight Shadow now, just trying to enable EG to get a favorable jump on VP's push here. Solo still standing on the lines. Pasha and Ramsey's behind, ready to counteract any movement from EG. And Pasha actually gets a good jump in, gets the crush on the 3, but they've lost Solo. Ramsey's and no one turns towards Universe, doomed up by Lil. They'll take the Timber, they've taken the mid-melee racks. They'll get themselves on the retreat as well. They did lose tier 3 bottom.
As the Aegis expires, really good timing from VP.
Yeah, really, really well played.
And the important thing is they realized it was just a creep wave down bottom. Yeah, there were a couple Chen creeps, but they knew there was no threat to their racks. Unless Alchemist makes like a insane play and TP down, they go for the. But if he does that, you take mid lane, you take bottom, you take all of EG's base. So you know your team is 5 much faster than the Alchemist. So really good play from No One. He's just sitting there pointing away at the rack. He doesn't care if his Ogre goes down. Pasha stuns 2 there at the back. He completely keeps him off the sniper here. And it's just Universe to defend. Universe is on his own because of that great crush from Pasha.
Yeah, a wipe of the brow there from Uni. Did not expect the jumping Lil.
And EG, they've smoked up immediately following this, knowing there's no Aegis on the VP side. They want to catch them by surprise, and
that's a big one as well. If no one heads this way, he...
Oh my god.
Okay, swags it off, and Pasha goes in, 3-man crush. Ramsey's dropping down the blood right, looking to change this down Universe, but the demonic purge is there, holding him back through the BKB. The illusions whipping through Ramsey's as well. Pasha jumps in again, holds Sumail back with the crush. They've still got the vision on him, no one from the high ground, beeping him down low. Sumail, he's going to be bursted here by the fire blast from Solo. They've also lost Arteezy, but in return, they'll find Crit as well. VP. They do get 3, but they did lose both Ramsey's and Pasha of that, but no one gets bigger and bigger.
I think Ramsey's is hoping the Ops didn't catch what he did in that fight. It was a bit embarrassing. He just died to some SD illusion. He tried to fight the SD illusions rather than round and kind of just died. That was a bit embarrassing for him, but for VP, it's absolutely fantastic. Winning the fight with the sniper. That was...
Pasha, immediate here with these jump ins. There's a reason why Slada are one of Pasha's best heroes. And again...
I mean, that's just a sniper auto-attacking.
Are we going to see the Ramses play?
Oh, no.
No,
he's off camera.
Don't watch Ramses. Nothing's happening over there. But here's the push. Sumail's still dead for 50 seconds. Does have buyback. I mean, VP, they could potentially pressure it out here, couldn't they?
Yeah, forcing the buyback would be nice for them just because it creates zones later on. There's the buyback. All they have to do is back off. They expect the Roche respawn, of course, in the next 1 to 4 minutes, so they'll be probably looking to play around having Aegis once again. That's where they were strong enough to take the first melee racks, and for EG, it's hard to get out on them to contest that. We saw the most recent one go down without a fight, and that may be the case once again with VP's map position.
15-12, VP holding on.
EG, they're using these smokes aggressively.
And they're going to have VP ahead on 9 Pasha. Strike for a crush. The concoction comes through, but the Ethereal blend the Starstorm takes him down.
I mean, that's not the end of the world for VP. It is a core hero they lose, but again, it's these losing a hero, but what objectives can EG get? They are eyeing off perhaps the tier 2 mid tower, but no Roshan. It's really a smoke you hope to use when you can get a Roche after it. They're camping pit knowing that it could be respawning as soon as now, but this would be incredibly lucky for EG if they get it. It's not going to go their way. It's a full 2 minutes before Roche is coming back up, so VP will not have to worry about losing Aegis. Crit's just like sitting there, he's crossing his fingers, he's camping that pit like, please Roshan, come on, give us something for this successful smoke gank, but they're not going to get it. And smoke-wise, I believe they are out. That is their last smoke for some time, which really limits what they can do. To the VP side, they're on the dire side. They don't need the smokes as much for Roshan. They're the ones who are kind of pressuring the map and keeping EG back in their base. It's EG who have to have smokes to try and make that Roche happen.
He's got the skeleton doing the scouting work at the moment, and that's actually going to give the vision for Arteezy. He jumped upon by Lil. Arteezy is backed up though. They're not going to be able to send him home. Zai with the save, and now with the Dukes trying to get himself out as well. The Fire Blast is there to hold back Chen.
Didn't have the Purge grip anymore. He went up, got the Snare instead, which is like an okay grip to have. But would much prefer to see him hold onto that Purge. If he had it there, he would have actually got a kill onto the Mirana. That would have been a game-changing kind of kill. But VP are getting very tanky. Both their cores now, not just with BKB, but double Guardies out. 3k HP on the Seeker, 2.6k HP on Sniper. A hero known for normally being fairly squishy. Well, that is not the case with this No One Sniper. I think with the wards up now around the bottom lane, around the Radiant jungle, V should have very easy access to take this Roche without too much of a fight.
It's a male now.
Doesn't have a TP here.
Yeah, they've got the vision on him with the Assassinate. And Artur, he was stuck in the trees earlier to his favor, but this time round, memories of a past time. That was not what Arteezy wanted. Down for a full minute.
And Pasha will sign the Roche horn. It is time to get in there. They know there's no Mirana, so there was not really much of a chance to contest this to begin with, but even more so now. See what Alk looks to do. He's kind of at that point where he's 6-slotted. He's got the armor he can replace. Okay, he's got the first Axe Scepter. Shadow Demon, perhaps?
It's gone to Uni.
Okay, Uni. Around the, I mean, Mirana already has her own axe, so you don't need to pull her one and she can theoretically sell it or keep it just for the stats. But the really big axe upgrades can be the Timber Sword, and even the Shadow Demon. The break can be very useful as well. And also just having multiple slows. We saw Bloodseeker getting kited around when he had the BKB up. If you have 3 Courages to play around, this Shadow Demon can become that much more impactful in a team fight as well. So I'd expect to get the next. The Chen Axe creeps can be nice, having a Granite going for the bonus HP, but we'll see where EG look to go.
Now, VP themselves, at least, pushing down on Pasha, and no one ready to lead with the charge. We're seeing Pasha here. They'd have a bit of a tough game in game 1. Here in game 2, the plays certainly being felt even more, just setting up for these team fights. Kind of backing up his team as well anytime they get caught on, throwing his life up to get those multi-man crushes off, to hold back EG. Now it's going to be EG to hold back VP as P. Ready to push in again with just this slow siege from the low ground. Sniper chipping away at the towers. And Crit's going to try for the lead-in. That's the first destruction, but Patch is there with the backup. Just a good 2-man crush. The beach just opening fire onto Crit. Crit giving himself alive with the Ghost Scepter, and TP's out. So he'll
cancelled.
Should be safe. The shrapnel ends up killing him there. He gets hard.
And no one pops the cheese, so he still has the Aegis. He was down to like 100 HP. He got full value from that cheese.
And you got to watch Pasha. Pasha he's ready to go back in. And well, RTC tries to come forward with the Starstorm, immediately goes for the TP out in the tree line. He will not make it. They get a vision there for the Fire Blast stun. Pasha comes in to give it the crush onto Zai. RTC falling incredibly low, and he will be dropped. It's a triple kill Sumail though. The Alk is the issue here for VP. They've lost 3 heroes to it already. Sumail cooking up the concoction. Is going to catch Ramses. Ramses left alone in the midst of it all. And Sumail picks up an ultra kill on this defense. It did involve buybacks from both RTD and Zai. But EG hold, and Sumail gets a lot of money in his pocket after the back of that.
Looks like they were just caught a bit by surprise by the buyback from the Mirana especially, but ignoring the Alchemist the whole fight, even without the Mirana buyback, was going to be a problem. They just overcommit a bit too hard on the high ground. They never even took the tower there. I think VP maybe need to just slow siege it a bit more, focus on getting the tower first. Whew, that almost catches no one. That could have been a kill. Uni's coming on in with the Ag. They used the Doom very early onto Universe, which prevented the Chakram spam, but Uni's not really the damage output threat in these fights. He's kind of playing that frontliner who, if anything, him getting doomed is what EG want, to make sure that Alchemist as well as Mirana can be the ones to kind of shine in the team fights. That's what Arteezy and Sumail want to be doing, and see Universe now pick up a Blink Dagger, but VP, at least knowing that the Mirana buyback's on cooldown, may consider themselves able to make a play despite not having the Aegis and cheese anymore. They still got the Aegis, actually. They just don't have the cheese, so maybe go time.
Now we'll see with this replay again. I mean, as you said, it really is the fact that Sumail, after he comes back in, is pretty much left to his own devices. Arteezy nearly actually gets himself away here as well on the side, but a couple more peeps so no one takes him down, and then the snipe, no one turns around, and suddenly Sumail standing there behind him. And no one just bails. Ramses has to stay and fight. No TP in his inventory.
The hero they need to keep alive along on the VP side is actually the Slatter. They need to make sure they always have the amp up on Sumail, who's got the Manta stuff, got AC and Shivers. He's incredibly tanky against the physical damage, which is pretty much all the Bloodseeker and Sniper have. So without the constant 8-second cooldown crush and the amp damage being reapplied again and again to the Alchemist, they can't fight Sumail. So problem is, Slatter isn't very farmed. 7k net worth. It's Lil on 13k net worth, who is the much more farmed of the two. Pasha without a BKB just can't keep himself up in these fights, and I think that's going to become a problem. If he dies early in the fight, EG have a big way to enable Sumail to just go to town. 6k gold on Sniper. We'll see no one pick up another big guy, so he needs ideally some more damage output.
I mean, I guess what, just waiting for the Aegis to expire early before he picks up something else in that final slot.
Sure, it's going to be the Daedalus or MKB, probably the two big ones. Could even see something like a Bloodthorn, but you have to get kind of too close to use the Bloodthorn. The MKB against the Radiance would be nice for sure. I don't imagine he wants the Butterfly. There's so much magic damage between the Moran and the Timbersaw, and the isn't really right-clicking so much. It's just like illusion, shivers. There's just all this AoE damage. So Butterfly doesn't seem like the best item here.
And both teams now kitted up with the AC as Ramses picks his up for the side of VP. And both teams as well holding back, easy now to move out. Smokes are back and available, and look to use this one. Get a jump onto the side of VP. Looking to sweep around the jungle. Virtus.Pro relatively set out at the moment. No one clearing out some Ancients. Solo forcing down the bottom. I mean, VP would be happy to jump for Solo, but yeah, they're looking for bigger things with the Moonlight, allowing them to close the gap in. No one's actually Hurricane Pike into this one. He's trying to fight past them. No one's out. Passion jumps in. VP have lost one of their main damage dealers. The Doom will be dropped onto Universe, but he's keeping himself alive. Conconction onto Lil. RC's just ripping them down with these Star Storms. Ramsey is surrounded. He's trying to finish offside. Is he going to find the kill? He will, but he pays with his life.
Oh my god, there's no buybacks on the carries.
A very awkward attempt for VP to get involved in that fight.
His Aegis had just expired.
Oh.
And... Get out. What on earth just happened? I mean, this team used to have a nickname.
I want to play a perspective of the Sniper there. I mean, I don't know what we're going to get, what we're going to have. It's just the replay.
His Aegis timing.
He shoves himself in.
He didn't realize how many heroes were there because of the Moonlight Shadow, so he's going in thinking, oh, it might just... I mean, obviously, it's here, 43 minutes of the game. You should expect EG to move out as 5 from their base, but boy, did Sniper get wrecked. And he bought the MKB, so he didn't have buyback. There's 25 seconds. EG are at VP's base now, looking to take this bottom racks. We'll see them just send in the Mirana illusions for now. Well, in a sec as we hop back in. This is
EG
easy racks for us.
Finding themselves in a very comfortable position off the back of that fight. May not be able to finish off the melee racks there by the looks of it. That's Lil coming in. We'll scare them off.
Yeah, they're just scared of the buyback. You're kind of you don't expect a team to have no buyback on Sniper and Bloodseeker at 45 minutes. Like, this is a team who's been controlling the tempo of the game. They're the ones playing aggressive. You'd expect them to always have those double buybacks. In fact, VP don't is a bit of a surprise, but hey, EG kind of respecting what VP can do should they buy back. Gonna not get all too much out of those kills as far as base objective. Just one range rack's not really the biggest deal at this point, but man, that was exactly what EG needed.
BKB is starting to lose their charges on VP, and the fact that Samael's handed out the axe to crit.
Oh, he's got it now. Yeah, that's a really hard one to deal with for the Bloodseeker. He's getting kited around whenever he pops that BKB.
And DD outside the pit, where you had to see the respawn time of Roshan, but certainly could be the next big area of contention. Both sides needing that Aegis and Chi really before they go for a full-scale push.
This is BKB. Excuse me, sir.
Maybe the nerves starting to get to him.
That's I mean, the SD illusion's killing him now. He's feeling it here. You're down a game against EG. I mean, this is VP really showing some resilience, though. Considering how badly they lost game 1 and that they didn't really shut down the Alchemists that much in this game, they have really played some impressive Dota as a team. This is the first time they've been tested, really, since this new team's been formed. Like, since they've risen to the height of the Dota scene over the last kind of 3 to 4 months, they've to really have a big team kind of put them on their back, and that's exactly what EG have done. So VP showing an ability to adapt and go into a game 2 down, play a kind of different style, a few different heroes coming out, and G though, the veteran team are once again using that Moonlight Shadow, trying to initiate with it. They are on VP's side, poised to strike.
They have got a good angle for a jump in as well. Solo, he's heading towards this pretty scary point. Crit will be spotted out first. He gets kept alive here by the Ghost Scepter. There's from Passion. Solo probably brought down low. They lost Solo here, and they found Patrick. Well, EG looking good at the moment. Now the turnaround, Samael, he's been surrounded. They've lost Alchemist. Zion, the high ground as well to be dropped. And Uni just TPing out for the silence. RTZ will get away as well. But VP there finding absolutely the huge heal, taking down Sumail on the front lines.
Yeah, again, the big thing is who gets caught. This time around, it was the Ogre. Ogre in the front line's dying first. Dream scenario for VP. That is the hero you do not care if he dies, as long as he's used Bloodlust. Ogre's done his job. Ogre just has to Bloodlust everyone. He's sitting there with Earn charges, salves. He's just like a walking, bloodlusting, healing machine. That's all he's got to do. And if he gets Initiate on and tanks a couple spells, fantastic. He got Disrupted. Disruption being used there on the Ogre really hurts EG. That's a spell they need to either save to use to set up on like a sniper or someone, or to save defensively to try and save the Alchemist of Sumail, because Sumail got focused in on. Shadow Demon was also very aggressive with his positioning and got taken out.
And we'll see if VP are able to again force out Sumail's buyback. It is available, and Sumail's still down for 50 seconds.
It's a risky play to make if you get caught. I think they are respecting what EG can do.
And no one again off the back of that fight, starting to go back up 6.2k in the bank, and obviously still has that space, the moon shard to be consumed.
Fast roach respawn means VP once again good to go. EG not going to get here in time, it looks like. Well, not even close. Aegis on the sniper. He's got
dropping
no
his boots, yeah.
He's going to rely on his team and as well as his own Hurricane Pike just to push himself around, and he's going to have to stand fight. That's what this sniper does without boots and with an Aegis.
And this time Ramses sells up his Midas. He's already reached level 24, pretty much reaching max potential. Just to free up that gold so he can pretty much finish off that butterfly when he wants to. May just look to save for buyback first. We'll see what the situation will be for the Bloodseeker.
He's the hero that's a bit vulnerable right now. Without buyback, without an Aegis or cheese. But it seems he's buying that. At this point, the crew is out there. He's buying it, yeah.
Yep, going full in on this butterfly. As you mentioned, there's still a lot of magical damage. He needs to use that. Make sure the BKB usage is absolutely timed perfectly around those Starstorm bursts.
They want to perhaps run into EG. Solo on the front lines. The gem is on Pasha Slada.
They're leading in, doing huge amounts of damage here. RTZ will jump forward with the Starstorm burst. Pasha get crushed onto Grit, and here we go onto No One. Sumail moving forward. Sumail questioning it to see to move in, but no, he's got the damage, but he's been doomed up. No One turns. Aegis is popped. Sumail's life is popped as well. And he's trying to chase down for more help back by the demonic purge of Crit. There'll be a buyback to Sumail. Pasha coming in with a crush onto RTZ. The damage from No One taking down Artor. He's got a double. He'll turn towards Universe. Universe is going to get popped as well. They've found massive kills here. Buybacks are coming out from EG to hold. No One's surrounded and taken down though. EG on the defense, and they will do it successfully so as they find Solo as well. Ramsey's the last remaining survivor. It did cost EG though 4 buybacks to hold that though.
I mean, that's not really a win for EG, but they will be able to go the other way and force VP to use not 4 buybacks. They've only got 2. If there's one hero you want to survive, it's Ramses. The fact Ramses, the one hero without buyback, survives is so important. I say that he's now being chased down.
He's playing around with this. Can he actually? What the hell? Oh, he can! He can!
Oh, it just came up off cooldown. Oh my gosh, the timing of that.
I mean, Ramses.
That saves the game, perhaps. I mean, they haven't won, but that could have been game over if he died there.
If he went out. I mean, it's little plays like this.
He should not have been there. That was, again, the nerves get Ramses. The fact he's out there farming without buyback, that's criminal when you're at 51 minutes of the game. I think VP, sigh of relief that they don't lose the Bloodseeker there. And now EG, they've got to back off. They just use their 4 buybacks. They want to find a positioning advantage. They're going to wait on the high ground and hope VP come to them at this same spot. It didn't work out too well for EG last time, but perhaps learning their lesson, knowing they don't want to go on that Ogre.
They want to do it. They want to fight EG.
Bold.
They know that No One doesn't have buyback available. They know that Lil doesn't. If they can find the kills, they will be in a very, very good position to potentially take the game. But VP already backing off. They see that no one of EG's revealing themselves across the lanes. They know that something fishy's up. And they're just playing it safe. VP making sure not to get caught out at this crucial moment of the game. 52 minutes in, 29-26. And at a point as well, this next 5-minute window for both sides could be the be-all end-all for both teams.
Obviously, Sniper, what's he going to do? Rape your time? Drop your boots to travel, rape your time?
Oh,
there we go!
My goodness.
If you die, you've lost the game.
If you die, you've lost the game.
so you. Oh, I mean, without the rapier, it's the same case. So it's like you die without a rapier, you lose the game. You die with a rapier, you lose the game. It's the same thing. You may as well have a rapier, Owen. And a casual blade mail. Okay. I mean, considering the BKB durations, this is an item that could be very effective. You use a Manta, you pick up. It's actually going to drop the Radiance. Late game blade mail with 2.6 HP.
I guess against the rapier, yeah.
Against the sniper, this is actually really brutal. He doesn't know there's a rapier yet, but he will soon. I don't imagine Sniper's going to hold this one. He can't hide this one. He's going to push out the lanes. And yeah, he'll see the Sniper Rapier, and Alchemist is going to be like, sweet, this item's even better now.
It's already stepping up to be that game that we hoped it to be here, game 2.
What a game we were watching when a 2.2k gold item is your ideal 6-slotted Alchemist item.
Oh, we'll see that one nerf next patch.
Oh.
There we go. Already looking for the fight here, but crit. Oh no, no one's going to be so careful. They've got the water. No one! Oh no, not the rapier! They've got the disruptor, but Patch is over the back. Does it with the crush. No one turns around.
Don't hit the Alchemist! Hit the Alchemist!
He's down! No one hits the deck. They've lost Lil as well. Round of season's going to be dropped. EG! I think they might have just done it here if they have. GG is called. That one on the high ground. VP were not prepared for that. EG finding the jump in, and EG, understandable smiles there, taking down Virtus.Pro 2-0 nonetheless. It's got to feel amazing for them, gods.
It's absolutely incredible. In front of the home crowd here in Boston.
Oh, they go crazy. I think they're multiplied. I don't know what they're doing in the stands back there, but it's working.
VP have got to be shattered. They came in as one of the tournament favorites, but